Go check out the UFC picks that we just put out for UFC with LT. You guys like
Absolutely.
and subscribe every channel we got. Appreciate y'all.
I know at the same time too, Jalen Miller, has he gotten the game yet? I want to bring it
Oh,
up.
Nah, he never got in the game. I mean, it's still halftime. It's halftime right now. So I mean,
Okay, well, he got
That's
time. He got
that's
time.
we
He
did
got
actually
time.
have one more subject.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, we forgot about Jalen. How did we forget about Jalen Hurts here, man? How did we forget about Jalen Hurts, man?
We had
You know
some
what I mean?
interesting takes that we wanted to share with y'all.
So we've been talking about Jalen Hurts. Okay, these two guys right here have some very very interesting takes on Jalen Hurts. You know, I'm kind of like, me personally, I think Jalen Hurts is a very very good player. Me personally, I think he is. You know what I mean? But these two right here, for some reason, believe that Jalen Hurts may not be any better than like Tim Tebow or Bo Nix. I want to let you guys speak for yourselves. I don't want to be the person to speak for you. I'm gonna let you guys speak for yourself.
I'm gonna say he is a similar player to a Bo Nix or Tim Tebow. I'm not saying he's the same level. I'm just saying if they were also on that team, the Eagles team, the Super Bowl could have been. It was eventual because that team, the offense and the defense, elite at every level. And Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's a great player, but it's not just levels above every quarterback. He's not a Super Bowl quarterback because of that. He was on a team with the number one running back, a top 3 receiving core, a top 5 offensive line, and the defense was crazy.
Okay,
that's where it goes.
So you guys are just basically saying that you just don't feel like he's performing. You don't feel like he's an elite quarterback. Very much what you're saying.
You know what? I'll put it to you like this, right? I firmly believe he's in elite status. Okay, you can't say he's not elite. Just the fact that he won the Super Bowl, you can't say that he's not elite. Okay, I say that about every Super Bowl winning quarterback. You are automatically put in a different level at that point because you at least led your team to a Super Bowl, right? The fact of the matter is you don't look at Jalen Hurts and say, oh, he's top 5 in this category. Oh, he's top 5 in this category. You can't really aim to any category besides something like leadership or something like that to where he's a top 5 quarterback. That's where the comparison with those other quarterbacks comes into play, right? Because they're big on the leadership role and that's their role on that team, right? If you look at the Eagles lineup, right? Who do you have on there that if you took Jalen Hurts off, right, and put anybody else in the league that's a starter on that team, are they worse?
Yes, I feel like they are. Me personally, I feel like Jalen Hurts is a leader. I mean, I understand that he may not have the strongest arm in the league.
Mhm.
He may not be the fastest quarterback in the league. He may not, I mean, I think he's one of the best leaders in the league. I mean,
I agree with that.
But he does he's strong in all those categories though. He has a strong arm.
Sure.
He is not a weak arm. He's fast, not
But
just
you wouldn't.
enough.
But you're not going to look at him and say, "Oh, he's top 5." You just can't, unless it's the leadership role, and that's what I'm saying.
Like I'm telling you right now, he didn't throw for 3,000 yards passing
Last year.
He didn't.
Well, how many games did he play?
He played like 16, 15.
Wes,
Yeah.
it's interesting, man, because it might be unfair, right? It could be unfair to me and Man are saying this, and I understand what you're saying by that, because the look, right? It's the eye test to me. Because if you look at Philly, you look at their lineup, I'm telling you, if you look at that lineup, you
No, I
basically take
understand.
everything, all the accolades away from the quarterback at that point, because the rest of the team is just so fire, okay? So you're not really giving him the credit that he might deserve, right? And I understand that. And I can see why people are going to say that to this video. I understand that's coming, okay? But it's a legit thing to say too at the same time. Because if you take some of those players off of that team and you give him that same opportunity, is he going to be as effective? No, I don't think he is, right? Because those are top tier players at their positions. I'm talking like top 3, top 4, top 5 players at their positions at every other position, right? Especially at running back. You could have handed the ball off 4,000 times last year and won the Super Bowl. Okay. It's just, that's the way it was. He was set up so great last year. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying that. I think he is a fantastic quarterback. His leadership ability is really second to none, clearly. Okay,
Yes.
because you have, in order to have that many attitudes and that
That's his
many
greatest
different
ability.
kind of mentalities on that team and different kind of egos, he kept all that in check. That shows me right there he is one of the greatest leaders in the NFL.
Yep,
He didn't.
exactly.
But that doesn't put you
Exactly.
on
Let's
elite status.
let's say this. Let's say this. He only threw the ball 361 times last
Mhm.
year. He was 68% completion, 68.7% completion percentage. You know, I mean, the years before that, he threw the ball 538 and 460, and then 432. I mean, he only really, I mean, if you look at it, he came in, he played. I mean, he only started 4 games his first season, right? They were 1-3. Next season, he started all 15. They're 8-7.
Yep.
Then the next season, 15 games, 14-1. So yes, they're building a team around him to help make him better, but he's performing. This is his second Super Bowl that he's gone to, right? I think he lost the first one. He lost the first one. He went to the Chiefs. And so this is the second Super Bowl he went to. This dude's performing. He has a lot less passes that he's throwing that he threw last year, a lot less, higher completion percentage. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand he does have a great team around him. You go out and get a Saquon Barkley, which anyone could have picked him up. Anyone had opportunity to get him.
That's the crazy part.
But this team did it. This team put it together, and he came out and he showed him proof. Nobody wanted to pay. Nobody wanted to give any money for it. But you know what they did? They said, we're going to ante up. We're going to go ahead and pick up Saquon. People thought that legacy running backs were no longer a thing. They thought that, hey, these guys, we can pick up anybody can run behind. I believe that those type of backs are going to come back. The kind of backs that now, okay, this guy's here for 7, 8, 9 years are going to come back sooner or later, because that's what I think we've been lacking, because running backs were not getting the respect. And not just to get back into Jalen Hurts as well, but I do believe that, that team's stacked as hell. You know what I mean? They are. Their defense, though, honestly, they have the lowest paid defense in the entire NFL. The lowest. So what are we really saying here? So you can't just say anyone can throw the ball to these guys. It takes someone. You can have really good receivers, but if you don't have a good enough quarterback to get them the ball in the right places, it is what it is. They're not just going. They're not just little boying all the cornerbacks in the league. He has 2 really good receivers, but a lot of times these guys aren't even mentioned in the top receiving name. They're not even mentioned with the top dogs.
But I think he's great. He like I said, I think our point is, I think he's a great quarterback. Right. He has the intangibles. Don't get me wrong. I think and I'm not even saying he doesn't deserve to be up there. Right. As far as, hey, look, top 5 guy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, based off of the teams that he's had, it takes away from him. Okay. Because of the fact of how much he's had help wise. You get what I'm saying with that?
So do you consider, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first year he's had Saquon.
Yeah.
And he came in second for MVP a few years back. He came in second to MVP. He's never thrown for 4,000 yards. That's one thing. But I mean, but his completion percentage is high enough to say that maybe he wasn't. Maybe either he's throwing shorter passes or whatever the case may be. But a receiver cannot make a quarterback better. But you can't. Look at Devontae Adams when he went to the Raiders. Look at Randy Moss and went to the Raiders.
Sure.
They can't. If you can't get them the ball, they can't produce. It takes a quarterback to be able to get them the ball. It takes an offensive coordinator to understand how to get them the ball, of course, and it takes a quarterback to be able to deliver it. So I think we're taking away from him. I think that we're taking a lot away from him just to say that, because before they didn't have Saquon Barkley. They still went to the championship without him. I mean, that was the year you had when you got a healthy Mahomes. And and their defense was even worse that year. I mean, but I don't remember what the score was in that Super Bowl, but you still went though. It wasn't like, he's probably was he a 3rd-year player?
People want to play for this guy. That's another thing you got to look at, right? With Jalen Hurts, and that's why I say his leadership and it just alone makes him on the elite status, right? Is because of that. People want to play with him.
Even with him not having a running back, like when he didn't have Saquon, their O-line was so good that their running backs
were cold. Yeah.
Their running backs were disgusting. They had a year where they got Miles Sanders. That might have been the Super Bowl year. I don't know, but they had a year they had Miles Sanders going for over 1,000 yards, and Miles Sanders is I don't know where he's at right now.
Hurts also uses this as fuel too. Don't get it twisted. Okay,
Yeah.
because he's always been bet against. Let's go over this real quick, right? At Alabama, right? Alabama wins a national title. Okay, loses how many games? 2 over 3 years or 2 years, whatever it was, 2 or 3 years. Goes to the freaking SEC championship game, then goes to the national title again. All right, gets benched during the national title for who? Tua. Gets chosen as the backup from there on out, comes back the next season, wins the SEC title for him against Georgia in some, basically coming back on and getting back into it, comes and wins them that game, gets them to the national championship, and then they give the ball back to Tua, which is rightful. I get that. But he earned himself a switch over to Oklahoma. What does he do at Oklahoma? He wins at Oklahoma, goes to the Final Four. Okay, gets trounced by LSU. I get that. That's one of the greatest college teams ever. We don't have to get into that. Okay, 2019 LSU.
One of
shout
the
out,
greatest
baby. I
teams
got
ever.
y'all. I
One of the
got y'all.
greatest
Joe
teams ever.
Burrow. Let's get it.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So anyway, Hurts, dude's a winner. Okay. All
Yeah.
he's done anywhere is win. And I think that's where we were talking about as far as Tebow-esque and things like that. You're a leader and you bring that winning gene with you, right? No matter where you go.
The numbers
But
won't
he
speak for
takes
you.
it further because he actually has some of the intangibles that Tebow didn't have, okay, as far as vision and things that he can read a defense too. Don't get it twisted. Hurts is a smart QB. He doesn't make unnecessary mistakes, but he's not a game manager either. Don't. I hate it when people say he's a game manager.
Nah,
He's
way
not a
further
game
than-
manager.
Yeah.
He's better than that. He's somewhere in between line between playmaker and game manager. He's right there in the middle. He toes that line.
I
He'll
got
give you that game manager game to where he throws for 100 yards, but he'll give you that playmaker game to where he'll throw for 300. It's just what he does. Whatever you need him to do, he'll do. And I think that's what he's doing right now. He's back.
That's why we were
He
saying
backed
Bo
off
Nix
last
has
year.
that too.
Yeah.
Because Bo Nix has that ability too.
Right now I got to see Bo Nix do this in a season. I think he managed the game great. You know, he managed the games great last year. Don't get me wrong, but I need to see like this year, can he actually be sort of a game changer at the same time? Can you step up and be that next level to where if we got into a shootout, can I count on you you can get me a touchdown in 2 minutes? And I don't see him doing that. I just don't see that from him at all.
Could he count on anyone on his team? I don't think he could count on one player on his team to do that. If he had AJ Brown, yes, he could do that. If he had Devontae Smith is a number one receiver on a lot of teams.
Either one of those two, I would say. Either one.
98% of teams, yes.
Yeah. If I have less than 3,000 yards with those two receivers, it's kind of a crazy it's a crazy year to have that, and that's what Jalen Hurts had. He had those two receivers and had less than 3,000 yards.
But it goes back to it, right? He didn't have to. There wasn't a need for him to really be
2,000-yard running back. He had a 2,000-yard running back at that point in time. A 2,000-yard running.
With two number one.
But that goes with what we're saying too, right? That goes with what we're saying.
2,000-yard running back with two number one receivers.
But what does that say about him as well? People had to be worried about the throwing game. You could have just stacked the line. If Jalen Hurts wasn't a threat, oh man,
you can't stack the line with AJ Brown and
Philly's not a team that you can stack. They're not a team that you could bring up a linebacker or you could cheat up a safety. They're not that team.
O-line, and then that O-line is still top.
This is what I'm gonna say.
No flaw.
I think that I can't remember who Tebow had. I'm not sure if he had Brandon Marshall, who he had on that team. I can't remember for sure.
Thomas. Yeah, Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas.
He had some pretty good receivers on that team.
Eric Decker, I think maybe.
You know what I mean?
Won a playoff game.
But what I'm saying is, you can stack the line on them. You can stack the line on them with Demaryius Thomas. You can compare one of those two to him, easy all day in America. Demaryius Thomas was filthy.
I could see that.
1,500 yards. He was going to go out and get money for you. He was big, strong receiver, fast. You know what I mean? The whole nine. So that speaks volumes about if I can stack the line with Tebow, I understand we did not compare them directly. We said that he can actually make plays as well too. So we got to give his credit for that. Like, you can't stack the line on this guy because he can throw the ball. He has, so that's just my take on him. I agree with you guys. I'm not disagreeing because he's not Joe Burrow. He's not Patrick Mahomes. But at the same time, I think that he's much more than just a game manager as well.
Funny you mentioned Joe Burrow. Because I was thinking about something a second ago when we were going over Shedeur Sanders. people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, and I really don't care. Okay, y'all can come at me however y'all want to come at me for this. Okay. He reminds me of a Joe Burrow style. Okay, as far as Shador. I think that is my comparison as far as accurate quarterbacks to him right now
Which
in
is
the
not
league.
crazy. Which is not
I
crazy.
really do think that's the closest comparison. I know Man had one that's right on it too. I think these are the
Yeah.
two perfect comparisons
Yeah,
for
I said
Shador.
Geno. I say he's like Geno. I love Geno with him because the waiting in the pocket, the sneaky athleticism, the percentage of like the good throws. So
Geno-
that's why I
He's got that arm, he's got
but
that
yeah,
swagger of Burrow. Like
know,
it's there's certain things,
yep,
man, that
yep,
just
yep.
remind me of
The
Burrow
leadership of
whenever I
Burrow,
look at him. Yep.
Yep, I like that a lot. I think
and
it's gonna be tough though.
and you look at Burrow. I mean, I think he played. I mean, I think he started every game in 2020 season. I think he did it. That was the COVID year. So maybe they had a short. Did they have a shortened season that year? I can't remember. But like in 10 games, it looked like he was available for all 10 games. He started all 10 games. And that was really like his rookie season. He had 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, threw for 2,600, almost 2,700 yards, 65% completion percentage. Next year, 70% completion percentage, 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. And he just, 4,400 yards. Then he had 23. Then he got hurt in 23. Then he had 4,900 yards last year, 43 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the year wasn't that great. They're 9-8, but he's a big dog out there. I can see that's the kind of production I would like to see from a Shador. I think to me, he reminds me of he reminds me kind of almost like a Peyton Manning to a degree. You know what I mean? Just a cerebral, like kind
Vision.
of like, yeah. I mean, the way that he and kind of the ball that he throws almost, because Peyton never threw a really great tight spiral all the time. And Shador doesn't really throw that. It's kind of a little wobbler. He's more mobile than a Peyton, but he's more, if you look at him, the way they arrange, I know we're getting back into him, the way they arranged the offense around him last year at Colorado was kind of like, because with Peyton, remember he got mad, I think it was the punter or somebody like that. He told him shut up and just kick the ball, because he was like, why don't you run the ball, do something different, because he's always audible and for him to throw the ball somewhere.
That was Saturday.
Yeah, that was Saturday. Was that the lineman?
He looked at Saturday. He was like, "Shut up and snap the ball."
Yeah, but that's like if you look at Colorado's team, it was built around throwing the football. Period. Maybe they knew they couldn't run, but at the same time, there was no effort to run. He was like, you know what? 40 times a game, I'm throwing the rock. You know what I mean? But I'm a hit for 70% though, 72, 70. I think he had like 74% completion percentage, which is crazy. You know what I mean? But so I know I get where you're going with that. Those are some great comparisons, man. Great comparisons, man.
Burrow, yeah, he does throw that. He throws that much. Yeah, he throws it like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all they got. Really, they got rid of what's the guy's name? Running back? I can't remember. One more time. Mixon. Yeah, they got rid of Mixon, and that was pretty much a wrap for the running game. I mean, now all of a sudden they're 9-8 though. That speaks volumes. You get rid of your running game, you're 9-8. You threw for 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns. There's no way you should be.
Nothing. The defense don't got. They just.
They're bad.
You see their rookie. He went back to college. He went back to college.
Did he?
They drafted him first round. They didn't want to.
Yeah, he said no.
Yeah. He just went back to college.
Yeah.
He got drafted first round.
And they're in a really tough division, right? I mean, look, you got the Steelers, you got Lamar, you got Tomlin, who's a Hall of Fame coach at the Steelers.
We're not going to give him room to. We're not going to give. I mean, we can't give this kid room. We're going to put him up there top 5 quarterbacks, I'll give him that. And he gets to sling the ball like he wants to sling the ball. You got to win. You're 9-8 last year. 9-8. Both of your receivers got paid. I think they're both making over $100-something million a year.
Oh,
not
this
a year,
is the year.
$100 million contract.
They're going to have to go deep this year.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I know he probably got paid too. I mean, so if you're going to be offensive oriented, you knew you weren't going to have a defense you're going to be able to pay any money to. You knew this. You're not the last. You're not like the Eagles or the Rams. They're both paying their defense like $60-something million total. You got teams like I think it's the Steelers are like 100, and they're paying their defense 170 million. I think Denver's like 140 something million dollars that we're paying our defense. So I mean, you knew, you kind of knew.
Eagles drafted amazingly. That's why they're so cheap, because Jalen Carter He was supposed to be number 1 pick until he had like a car accident or something. He had some car accident where his teammate died.
You're right about that.
He dropped from number 1 to number 9.
That's what they said.
I wanted to get him, but then I wanted us to get him, but then we got Witherspoon. Great pick still, but
no, that's what they said too. They said that what it was they have a lot of young players who have not yet come into their contracts. They've been able to defer, get a lot of defer. The Bengals,
Cooper
106 million. The fourth lowest.
Their backup is getting minimum. Their backup quarterback's getting minimum. Okay, and he got drafted a year, 2 years ago, and he went off today. 252 yards, 20 for 25, 2 touchdowns, played incredible. Like the Eagles have a roster.
Easter,
absolutely.
Eagles is going crazy.
You would say that if Shedeur does go to Indianapolis, they're the third. They got the third highest, most expensive defense, $147 million a year. I mean, so hopefully they got a decent defense over there.
If Shedeur go to the Colts, they got a team. That's all.
I've said this. I'm telling you, like that is the setup. That is the setup, man.
Adnan Mitchell, Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor. The offense is there. The offensive line too. With what's his name? Nelson. I don't remember their offensive line.
They got a line. Mm-hmm. They got a lot over there. That's what I'm saying. They're set up except for quarterback. Like that's what they need.
It's not gone. And they got a couple of DBs and everything, but golly, you can't just trade a guy like Shedeur.
It just doesn't make sense to me. It's crazy.
If you're the Browns, you got to win.
You can't, but you're going to. Okay, you've done nothing but stupid choices for years. They're not going to stop now. It's not going to happen. All right, they're known to do this crap. It's just going to happen.
How do you convince Myles Garrett? Hey man, just stay for another couple, and then you're just like, actually, throw it all away.
I think it's going to be let's
because you don't want to be wrong as a GM. I'll add that to it. You don't want to be wrong, and you already picked your backup, right? You're not going to come into this and go, "Oh, well, we made a mistake. We're going to get rid of Dylan. We're going to keep Shedeur." That's not going to happen. Okay, that's going to show that the GM messed up. Okay, they're not going to do that.
What they say the GM, because Stefanski is the one who wanted Dylan. He's the one who wanted the GM's the one who wanted Shedeur.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they've come out and said. I mean, Stefanski's like, he's high on Dylan. Dylan's smart. And that's why he's getting pushed ahead so much further, because he's the head coach. The GM's just a guy who helps pick you're basically managing, helping pick the players.
The GM builds the team.
Coach. Yeah, along with the coach.
GMs build the teams.
Yeah.
Like that, they'll take the coach's input. GMs are the ones with the final say.
Yeah. And for him to have allowed him to pick up Dylan Gabriel, I mean,
it was a mistake.
I think it was a mistake too, but I mean, I think that Stefanski's willing to die on that heel.
By the way, not saying Dylan Gabriel is bad. I think he's a good quarterback. I do not think that's a good fit for him at all.
I'm not seeing where's a good fit for him at all. I mean,
he's not a bad quarterback. He's just a backup quarterback.
He's a great backup quarterback. Yeah. He is a great
Colt
backup.
McCoy. That's Colt McCoy right there. He's
100%.
He's just not that. Yeah, he's gonna stay as that. I don't know what Joe Monroe is doing right now.
Are they letting him play? Is he in?
He's playing.
He's in the game.
2 for 3, 12 yards. I just don't know where.
Well, he already has
12 yards. 2 for 3, 12 yards. Hey, we're gonna let you go ahead and get to the game. I know you want to watch the game and see what's going on with him. We're gonna let you guys get to the.
He ran the ball one time, 5 yards.
I mean, okay. I'm just saying. Look, he got 17 yards total offense right now. He's doing his thing. Can't take it from him. And with that, folks, this is your episode of Plays and Parlays. I am your host, Wesley, along with my co-host, the Guru, LT, and my man. And this is Plays and Parlays. See you next time.
Later, guys.